Well, good morning, everybody. And welcome also to a new person who hasn't been here before. That's you. um, this morning, I would say around 5:30 or so, I heard foxes barking down near on the other side of the house from where the pond is, so that they're down in the woods. And that part of the woods goes a long way, where you don't have to be, you can stay away from houses and other people for a long time. So a lot of animals you go through that way, and they pass by our house, and sometimes they bark, which is what they did this morning, and it's distinctive bark. It's definitely not a dog, and so basically it has to be a fox, and it's a familiar sound, and yet I haven't heard them for all summer because they hang around in the spring and the winter. But to me, it signals the end of summer. The end of summer, which we've had such an easy one. It doesn't feel like anything. And it's like the last. It's like the last voice of the summer, and I realized that everything around us. I haven't paid that much attention to it, but everything around us is now quieting down or rising up as something different. The sounds down at the pond are less. In the summer, we have a lot of frogs and things like that. And in this time of year, it's quiet. Everything is changing downwards. It's closing down. And since the summer, many of the birds have changed. They're gone. They're already. Songbirds are gone. It's early, but they're gone, and they are replaced by birds with a harsher sound, with a sharper sound. And so I realize, even though everything is very green and things are still blooming in places, that the summer is dead. It's over, and that's okay with me. But I notice it that so many things are gone, and one of them is the crows now are here, and the voices that come before the crows are gone. And the foxes are back, which means that other things are gone. They don't want to be around the foxes because the foxes kill and eat. So we have very few squirrels. And it all comes to me, when it changes, it contracts. There's fewer things to pay attention to, fewer changes, fewer bird sounds. And it's like a closing down, an end, and like the end of summer, closing down. And it made me think of all the things that I feel like I've lost when the animals change, like the hawk that we had. It was so joyful and loud, and everything is gone. She is not around. She's nowhere near our neighborhood now. I haven't heard her in a while, and she is gone. The squirrels are gone, or almost gone. And we are poorer for it, I feel. I feel that I miss my family. And I think about people who report in the news, and it's very interesting, but also very sad that we are losing more species of animal than ever before. That it's the pace of the loss of animal and plant life that does not appear to be cyclical. It appears to be gone, and that has increased rapidly, which always makes me feel really sad. Because of course, what can I do about it? Absolutely nothing. So I just have to observe it. I don't really know. I knew what I wanted to say, and now it's sort of moving too fast for my mind. The Buddha speaks of the rising and falling of everything. Anything that is born will die. That's a law of nature. It has nothing to do with what we want or even can understand. Everything that is born will die, and that at this time of the year you really feel that. And then when they're on the radio telling you that there's lots of species, you really feel it. I sit on my balcony and watch the animal life, and there's so little of it now. It was so vivid in the winter and in the spring and in the summer. We had so much animal life, and now it's gone. And I can't help but feel grief, because it's coming to my understanding that it's not just people on the radio telling me that we're losing animals and plants, and they're not coming back, and they're not being replaced by something else. I feel the loss very personally. I want to make it better, but I want to make it better for me. I mean, that's what I want. So it brings up all of this stuff about equanimity and the rule of nature, which is that everything that arises falls, and everything that is born dies. And it's a beautiful day, and so it seems odd to be talking about this. But I really see this. The Buddha talks about suffering, and it takes time to realize what he's really talking about. He's talking about not just physical pain or economic pain or loss of someone you love. I mean, he's talking about something that's so fundamental. And I always think that I learned that lesson, and then something happens and I realize I hadn't thought of that kind of suffering. I didn't know what it was, or even that it existed. And so I'm feeling it a lot right today, and a lot recently. And I find that I don't find the words of there's no. You want to be comforted, and I'm not getting comfort from it. I'm getting like a sharp edge that says, "Get used to it. Don't diminish yourself by, worrying about this." And I think it's really important, the idea of hope, which one finds in Christianity and I guess in Islam perhaps, and in Jewish tradition. Gosh, I just lost my train of thought. I'm very sorry. I have a lot of stress these days. Not remembering. Well, we have these Buddhism doesn't comfort us. It tells us to, at least that's my view, it doesn't comfort us. It tells us we must have equanimity, and that the world is in suffering, and that we will know this, and if we know it really well, we will gain power over our own feelings. I often think that I have some of that, and then I realize I don't. And then I practice and practice, and I still feel the grief of losing, all the squirrels, all that life, all the joy of being a squirrel has really disappeared. And I think it's a natural thing to want to cling to something that you love, even if you see it fall away. And the Buddha teaches us not to cling, just to let things be. And I'm happy to do that. I like to let things be, but sometimes I don't. I mean, sometimes I just hold on. And I think that the loss of species, I mean, we don't have the flowers and the plants that I live in the same house that I lived in when I was 9 years old, and all of the plants that we had that were native plants are gone. They haven't been there in 50 years. And so to realize that, you say, well, they really are gone. And then new things come, and they're more invasive, they're very different. And I don't know, the people around me want to get rid of the new things because they believe that the new things came and then the old things went away, like the water, certain flowers that grow in the water. We have to get rid of those because they hurt our environment. But there's nothing you can do. That's the thing. And so the acceptance of this immense change is in the moments that I have it, I feel very, very perfectly happy. But I don't feel it all the time. I feel so many, just the idea of the end of it, the end of what we know. And we know so little in a way. We know so little about how the earth began and how things developed and how they continue to develop, except now they appear to be pulling back and dying off. And I'm not just talking about plants that grow in your house. I'm talking about little tiny animals, little tiny things that we don't see, but they're so important for the survival of other animals or the other plants. They're so excited, but they're gone. What will happen? Teetering on the edge of it all, and saying to myself, well, I better keep meditating because I'm certainly not getting I'm not getting hold of this any other way. I don't mean, without an end, without an end to things, we won't appreciate what we have. I think that's really one of the things. If everything was born and never died, there'd be no room for us. We wouldn't be here. But when there's the prospect of the end of it, then we say, oh, what a beautiful world this is. How I love my neighbors. How I don't want anything bad to happen to them. normally I don't think about. But just the thought of losing that, thought of losing all the plants and animals, and being like living in a parking lot, is depressing. Now I'm really sorry I'm talking about all this, but this is what's been on my mind, and I see how important it is to, renew our faith in what is, what we have now. Beautiful. This is such a beautiful day. I'm looking outside. Oh, how beautiful! Everything is still green. Everything is still full of life, and but I'm hearing from all sorts of places that is changing, and I haven't been able to feel joyful about it, but probably I will tomorrow. The Buddha says everything changes, but it doesn't change. It doesn't change the fact that whatever is born will die. It doesn't change that. And so what are we going to do? We're going to know ourselves. I don't actually have the answer to that. The Buddha has not told me how to handle this. Just do the exercises and the mental exercises, and don't hurt anybody, or take any drugs or whatever. It's like an existential issue, which is why he came into the world, to teach people about existence. But I am not able to see that right now. I see someone speaking with a wonderful voice and telling us all we have to do is be good to one another, and see the world, and to know ourselves. And it's all so abstract. And this is not an uplifting talk. But I don't have anything more to say about it. I wish I could say, and now all we have to do is sit and practice as we were taught from the beginning, and how during that time everything is beautiful. And when I do this, everything is beautiful. And I can't do that all the time. So say something uplifting, Lisa. I can't. I don't know. It's just loss, I guess, and fatigue. And so when you have to give a talk and you're tired and you've been sick and your husband is having bad diabetes stuff, it's really hard to be uplifting. And that's what I should really learn how to do. So thank you, everyone, and it is a beautiful day, and nothing bad is going to happen today. And we have the White House all closed down, and everybody's safe. So if anyone has anything to say, and I would love to be uplifted, please do. I have to remind myself that this too is the Dharma, and speaking about it is the Dharma, and speaking poorly about it is the Dharma. So, just that. Otherwise, we can all go home. Oh, walking back and forth here, and sitting here and looking out the window is joyful. That's it. If that's all I had to do, I'd be good. And if anyone wants to practice in that way, I think it's wonderful. But boy, I tell you right now, I don't know what's going on. Thank you. We are released from this bondage onto the next. Thank you.
Wait a minute.
Oh, you want me to fight? I'm not pulling it out of the thing. I'm sorry about my talks. I just don't feel well.
Okay, that's why you